Hi everyone, it's Joe from Kolb Bee Farm. Today is Labor Day 2020. I have 8 nucs and I want to make sure that they're going to survive the winter. Some of them still had to draw out comb. I haven't been inside of these. Well, I took a quick look in a couple of a week ago, but it's been 11 days since I looked at them more in depth. And 11 days ago they had quite a bit of foundation to draw. When I took a quick look a week ago, they were starting to draw that foundation, which is great. But I made a mistake and I didn't feed them through a dearth, and it really slowed them down. So my concern is that they're not going to draw that foundation before winter, and I'm going to have to decide what to do if that is the case. If they don't draw the foundation, I may feed them just dry sugar, and I may use frame insert feeders and pour dry sugar in there, or I may do candy board, something like that. I will certainly feed them, but if they have nowhere to put the sugar syrup, that's not going to really help them any. At a certain time of year, it becomes very difficult to get bees to draw additional comb, and that is this time of the year. So we'll see what happens, but I'm going to take a quick look inside this one. I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time. It is kind of early in the morning. I don't have my smoker, and it is wet out. So all of those factors kind of make it where bees get a little cranky. I did feed them pollen subs 11 days ago. Looks like they used the pollen subs up completely. Looks like there's a decent amount of hive beetles on here. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 hive beetles. I'm hoping that my feeding the pollen subs didn't increase the hive beetle population drastically. I'm going to try and get these bees off of here. It's a little difficult. They get tangled in these Swiffer sheets. I don't know. Maybe they'll find a way out eventually. Hope they will. So we are going to see what is going on. I'm a little nervous. So this is a frame that they started to draw on, but the whole back side, but one whole side isn't completed. This side is, maybe a third complete. Set that down here. I don't really think the queen's in here, but who knows. I believe 11 days ago was when I added the additional, well, I think I added the additional super more than that. They just weren't using it. And then 11 days ago I scattered the frames between supers. This one has a lot of young brood. A lot of young brood on this side too. So it is good. The queen is laying and they're raising bees. It's a goldenrod flow now, so while I did feed them 11 days ago, the goldenrod started blooming, so I figured that I probably didn't have to worry about feeding them a ton, because the goldenrod just is so plentiful around here. I'm guessing this frame down on the end is not drawn out either. Yeah, this whole side isn't complete. This side, they pretty much drew out most of it. So it's good to see that they are drawing out some. This one's a frame of cap brood. So all of these are going to be our winter bees. The bees in here are going to be the ones that we see in spring, at least the ones inside of the cells. These are the critical ones. This one has bees that are hatching out. I see the gray fuzzies. So at this point, in the top super, I have 3 fully drawn and 2 partially drawn, but I would say I have 3.5, because the other frame doesn't have a ton of activity on it. So I'll just take these and stick them in the middle, and hopefully they get those drawn out. I have maybe 2 weeks left, and then it's just going to be shut down for winter. So this one was hive number 17, just for my video purposes and records. I really got to adjust this hive stand. They're not balanced very well. This whole hive tips quite easily. So there's a hornet sitting on here. These hornets are really showing their face quite a bit. So I can see in the bottom super, I have a frame here that's not really being used. I guess this one's honey and mostly honey and pollen. I see they're taking the caps off of the honey. Hopefully that doesn't mean they're being robbed. This looks like it was a little bit cleaned out, so I'm a little concerned about that. But this one is a drawn frame, so I would really like the queen to start using that. I'm going to put that one aside. This one is totally undrawn, which I'm not too happy about. At this point, now I have there's 1.5 undrawn in there. This makes it 2.5. This one looks like they drew out a decent amount. There's some brood in there. I guess I'll count that as a drawn. Here's another one. Looks like they drew out some, and the queen is putting eggs in there. They're pretty packed on here. They're festooning. So they are drawing. So they are drawing foundation some. I don't know. We'll count this as half a frame. So I had 1.5, 2, 3, 3 undrawn. You see some brood in there. Quite a bit of pollen. I'm going to put this one in the center. There's quite a bit of space the queen could lay in, and she's not. So it looks like I have 1, 2, 3 frames of bees in here. And I had 3 undrawn frames of foundation. They're packed in the top super a little more than the bottom one. Population just seems a little higher. But I have maybe 4 frames of bees here. So I have probably 7 frames of bees, which is an improvement over, I think I had 4 frames of bees originally. So they did expand some, they did draw out some. Now, this really sucks. I bought these lids from Better Bee, and they're not wide enough. I bought the boxes from Man Lake, and they're too wide. They're 5-frame boxes, but there's all this additional bee space on the side. So now I have a gap on either side of the lid. I'm not very happy about this. Man Lake just made their boxes too wide. The nuke boxes should be probably 3/8 of an inch shorter. I'm not sure why they did that. If you look at the spacing between the frames, you can see there's too much space. I have to gap them.